Welcome back and welcome to my February TBR. You'll see I've not moved since I filmed my January wrap-up because the two go hand in hand. I've got some books that I want to read in my little gold notebook here, which makes the lighting brilliant. Love it. So my February TBR is posted on the blog today as well, and it's kind of split into two parts. It's split into books that are released this month that I want to read, either because I've got them pre-ordered to download onto my Kindle, or I've got them from NetGalley. And the other half of the kind of books that I want to read this month are books that I've had around for a little while, and I've kind of been either started and been meaning to get back to, or I've been like really meaning to read them for a little while. So we'll start off with the February releases that I want to read. First of all, we've got a short story, well, not a short story, kind of novella that's part of a series. So it's a new series of 4 books from Holly Hepburn, and that is Brief Encounter at the Picture House by the Sea. And the series of books looks like it's going to be different film titles at the Picture House by the Sea. I've not read too much about it, but I know I love Holly Hepburn's writing and I love a little serialized novel, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. Then, very exciting, that I've got on my Kindle to read, probably going to be starting this one as soon as possible, and that is My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I've been trying to sort of stave off reading this until closer to release date, even though I have had it on the Kindle for a little while. Very much looking forward to that, and that is out next Thursday in the UK and next Tuesday in the US. Lovely. Then again, something that's been on my Kindle for a little while that I've been putting off to closer to release date, and that is The One That Got Away by Melissa Pimentel. I read her book about kind of online dating when she first moved to London last year, I think, and I loved that one, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Then we've got The Best of Adam Sharp, which is a new book by Graham Simison, and again, Rosie Project, The Rosie Effect, those two, I loved The Rosie Project so much, and so I haven't read anything about this one, but I know that I loved his other writing, so I should hopefully love this one too. So I'm going into that one with a very open mind. And then lastly of the new releases, we've got all the quick reads books, which are coming out in the UK on Thursday. These are the books that are for people who don't read very much or struggle to read a little bit, or people like me who want to drop in a quicker read into their kind of TBR every now and then. The 6 new titles are released on Thursday, the 2nd of February, and so I will definitely be picking those up. I've got a couple of them pre-ordered to come to my Kindle, and I know my mum's already picked up one of them, so she's going to bring that one out when she comes to visit. Exciting. Then, moving on to the books that I have been meaning to get to for a little while. I'm sorry, I kept kicking the camera there. I've got one that I've got left over from my kind of library visit when I was feeling all YA. So we've got You Know Me Well by David Levithan and Nina LaCour. I had this on hold from the library and it came through, and I haven't had a chance to read it as part of my YA January reading. I don't know what you call it, YA binge basically, but that has to be read because it's got to go back to the library, so that is definitely on my February TBR. Then another YA kind of leftover that I really wanted to read, but it also falls into the category of one that I've been wanting to read for a while, and that is Dumpling by Julie Murphy. I also have this on audiobook from the library, so I can't decide whether I will read the physical book or whether I'll read it on audiobook. I think it just depends what other kind of audiobooks I've got on the go at that point as well. Then I've got one that was sent to me, but I haven't actually hauled yet because it was sent to me in the UK and then I had it posted over here to Denver, and that is Secrets of a Happy Marriage by Kathy Kelly. The paperback version of this one came out, the hardback version of this one came out in October, or came out in Ireland in October, I'm not sure, but this one comes out in March, but it's kind of has already been out. So this is kind of tentatively on my February TBR, but might end up on my March TBR. I'm not sure. It depends when I can read it, because it's quite a thick one. But I absolutely loved reading Kathy Kelly's last one, which was I think it was called Secret Sisters Keep. Between Sisters. And that was my first Kathy Kelly read, apart from a Christmas read that I read of hers. So I'm very excited to read that one because I really enjoyed Between Sisters. Then during the Christmas Booktubeathon, I read the third book in the Darcy Burdock series, and I forgot how much fun they are. So I've had the fourth book in the Darcy Burdock series for quite some time now, and the fifth book is due to come out soon. So I would like to get round to reading this one. And although it's, you know, it's not a thin book, it's a little bit shorter than a normal book, and the pages are spattered with some fabulous illustrations as well as writing, and you can see the writing is quite big and quite spaced out. So generally these are quite quick reads, I suppose, because they're not designed for me to be reading but designed for 10-year-olds to be reading. So that's why I would read them slightly quicker, but I love them and they're so much fun. So when I need a pick-me-up, definitely going to be picking up that one. Then I've got a book that I bought in July and I took on holiday with me, and then I brought it over here and thought, yes, as soon as I move to Denver, I'll definitely get round to reading this one. And now it's kind of getting ready to come out in paperback, and that is I Found You by Lisa Jewell. And I have read most of the things that Lisa Jewell has written, and I'm a massive Lisa Jewell fan. But I haven't got around to reading this one yet. I haven't even read the blurb. Lisa's an auto by author, and so I definitely want to pick this one up in February, and it's definitely going to be high on the priority list. Definitely there. Then I've got a book which I actually started as soon as I bought, because I went to an event with this author, and that is Leave Me by Gail Forman. I'm probably going to have to start this one again because I only got so far through. I got, yes, about 30 pages through. So I'm probably going to have to read those first 30 pages again, but I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of this one because it definitely hooked me in right from the start, but then somehow I ended up reading other books that weren't this one. Then a book that I talked about in my feminist reads video on Monday, and that is Girl Up by Laura Bates. I've kind of dipped in and out of this one, but I haven't read it from cover to cover, so I would like to just sit down and read this one. I think a bit like when I read Everyday Sexism, it's going to be one that I'm going to pick up and not be able to put down, so I definitely want to clear a day or so to read this one. And then finally another book which has been on my shelf for a while now, which I have in paperback and on Kindle, and that is I Followed the Rules. I read Joanna's first book, The List. I found it absolutely hilarious, and it was just one of the top books that I read. I read it, what, like 3 years ago, I think, so I am sure that this one is going to be just as fun. Part of what I loved about The List was that part of it was set in Glasgow, and I did some dating and some online dating in Glasgow as well, and so I could kind of relate to that one. But this is definitely going on the list of things I want to read. I have done a blog post about all this, and that is also going up today as well. So if you want to remind yourself about any of the books I've talked about there, it's on the blog post, or if you didn't make it all the way through to the video, you can have clicked on the blog post below. My blog link is always in the description box below, as are my Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat usernames if you want to follow me on any of those if you don't already. Okay, again, another long video. I apologise, but I am going to be posting my wedding video next, just because I want to put it out there. So I won't see you in my next video. I'll see you in the one after that. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.